I never had a choice. Oopalaya then. Oopalai lai. Way better. Okay. So now. Dumpling is your blank controversial because the mobs are having a wonderful day on this 15th September 2025. A little bit of a morning talk, a little bit of a nature corn. Look at how pretty this is. This is really pretty. This is a very nice, gorgeous sunrise. Usually what I like to do is I should have done that since day one, right? You wake up, you're super tired, so you wake up and you make a video, right? So why is that a good idea to do? Is because you're still sleepy, so you don't have time to be filtered, you don't have time to be self-conscious. You're just getting up and you're going to work, right? Because this to me is a dream work. But at the same time, what happened yesterday? Very quick recap is um, we we didn't have a storage. I've been having a problem with the storage here because I have a new humongous file I want to keep that I want to make sure that we keep. And before we make sure that we keep it, it's gonna be super important. So, lo and behold, our phone was full, our battery was almost dead. I said, you know what, you're a bit tired, let's go sleep. And we went to sleep super early, super early. I think it was like 9:30 to be honest. So we woke up at 3:30, which is 6 hours, which is pretty good. I think we were nervous, I think we're busy, because again, tomorrow is the end of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I want to take advantage of the fact that we have this gorgeous show going on right now. So, with this being said, because this is also super important, I gotta say I'm quite blessed to be alive. I'm quite blessed to have the day that I have. I would love to do morning thoughts, but I already made videos. I already watched an hour and a half of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so we're pretty awake. And it's weird because you're seeing the sunrise here, right? You're seeing the sunrise here, and it's such a cool concept because the okay. So technically speaking, right? What I'm looking at is two plates through the tower. I got a third one here, and I got a fourth one here, right? That doesn't change. What are we looking at? We're looking at inside the apartment, which is it's been the same apartment for now 12 plus years. So this doesn't change, right? Now, what are we also looking at? We're looking at the background, which is a sunrise. This change because depending on how awake I am, I get to enjoy it more or less, right? And it's a shame because this kind of breaks the magic. So the sunrise today is again super gorgeous. You can see that we're fully awake. We're super in a good mood. The problem isn't the sunrise, and it's nuts because what I used to do, I used to do the same thing. I used to wake up super early. Um, no, that's not true. Well, super early the first day. So what I used to do, which was kind of the highlight of the whole making content thing, was to go to sleep at like 9 o'clock in the morning, wake up at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, go out, watch the sunrise, and it was just the best, right? And I was doing the sunrise, and it was nice because, or if you look at it, at last year, forcing ourselves to be up while sunrise was amazing. The last year, when I say last year, is you gotta understand that we did this making content for 15 plus videos, 356 days, which is about 3,000. Oh my god, that's 3,000, 5,200 videos, something along those lines, right? Kind of quick math. See, this is the problem. If I was sleeping, forget about it. But now I'm awake, I have the capacity, the mental fortitude of doing this. And we're gonna get into it later on because it's such a good video. Now, you might have guessed I don't have a specific subject, and if you guess that, you're absolutely right. So, while we were doing those 5,000 videos last year, there's multiple arc, right? So the first one was summer. We go out, we really appreciate the sunrise. And then because we're gonna appreciate the sunrise, I'm like, dude, such an amazing feeling. We're calling them the golden hour for a very good reason. So during the winter, I was just saying, however, during the winter it's different because during the winter I'm stuck inside, and although I know the sunrise is there, I don't really take advantage of it. I don't fully take advantage of it. I have this you English people in your complicated language, you have this this tour. This is not something. We have this how do I call that? To be honest, binders. You have something to block the sunrise or the sunlight to go into the house. I don't know what to call it. We'll call them complicated word. Put complicated word here. When you edit it, I really like the avocado, which I fucking love. I saw a video last week, internet anarchists, was talking about what happened to Nico Avocado, and it's so sad. It's so sad because basically what he was saying that Nick took a break from YouTube and came back and wanted to get into the action, which is not true because he's mainly back on TikTok. But maybe he's back on TikTok to change his image. Just say, hey, this was the YouTube Nick, this is the TikTok Nick. Just like there was the YouTube bookie, the Twitch bookie, the HGH3 YouTube versus the HGH3 Twitch. Right? It's a completely different person. Maybe that's the reason. Right? I don't know. Where was I going with that? Very good question. That kid said people were watching a car crash, right? And they were watching a car burn. What do we want to call it? A disastrous event, right? And because we were watching a disastrous event, the tripod is now the armrest. Because I am very tired. The people wanted to watch the car crash, realized that the people in the car crash were okay, and then they lost the bloodlust. They lost the feeling of there's some fresh meat on the menu meat back on the menu, boys, which is Lord of the Rings, of course. And it's just sad. It's just sad. You realize that Nick did all the sacrifices, right? And there's no legacy behind. And you realize that there's no legacy behind because of its fault. But then you look at the biggest content creator. You look at who? You look at PewDiePie. Is there a legacy behind PewDiePie? He's still a huge icon, but is there a legacy? No. Is there a legacy behind people like Markiplier? I think there's a legacy behind Casey Neistat, but Casey Neistat, legacy is more so about what he's done in the industry versus his career. You know, Rich Vienna, same thing. Both of my role models, right? My apologies. But while we were doing this, and even though we had the binders, which I think is a word, but Peaky Blinders, when the binders behind us showing us the sunrise, it wasn't the same, but the emotion was the same, right? And then we had a couple of instances last month and the month after before that where we got up the sunrise. I'm like, dude, there's a beautiful sunrise, and it's so fucking stupid because the only care that I have in the world is for you guys to see this talking, but then watching this sunrise. The only issue that I have is watching the nature porn and hearing me talk. So here you're seeing me, you're not seeing the nature porn. Here you're hearing me, but you're seeing the nature porn. Makes sense somehow. Because I'm not making the effort to stay up or to get up at sunrise, it doesn't feel as rewarding. You know? And you realize that the beauty of the sunrise, something we've been chasing for so long. What if I say, hey guys, I miss doing videos in the sunrise. Hey guys, this was so cool. Hey guys, that was such hard work. Hey guys, acknowledge my effort, por favor. The por favor is, of course, a little bit of a spiciness in this very bland morning. I've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and those mornings feel like Captain Holt dream vacation, which is like the biggest compliment. Or the worst, responsibility. See, and we're tired. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, we are exhausted. but we're still very much there. At the same time, you know what? This exhaustion will not last. So I'm gonna do the thing that you shouldn't do. Please don't do this at home, kid. No, I'm not gonna go in the apartment and jerk off. Although this is a really good idea, but do something that's kind of similar though. Me being tired, going to the apartment, any apartment to jerk off, would release some dopamine. I would have the best night's sleep. Even if I'm not that tired, the best night's sleep. We're gonna try that dopamine for caffeine. We go with the white peach Zoa. So na zdrowie. Cheers. Mulțumesc. Pofta bună. Goodbye. Cheers. Chin chin. That's pretty much all I know, but hey, that's not too bad. How many do you know before you come and judge me? By the way, I just made a mess, not that much though. And we're doing good on this, right? It makes you realize that maybe, because I've been chasing the sunrise, right? I'm not gonna let you guys, I've been really chasing it. But then, this is a crazy realization this morning. This morning is, man is covering the wheel. Next step, we discover the fire. What came first, the fire or the wheel? What you're saying, ancient, the fire was since the cavemen. Oh yeah? I don't think so. I think Adam and Eve were the first people on the planet, right? I even think that although fire, well, you really didn't invent fire, because fire is a natural element, right? You learn to harvest it. You didn't invent solar energy. You invented solar panels to maintain or to get that energy, which is completely different, right? You created a battery to harness the power of the sun, which already existed. Electricity. You didn't create electricity. This we created. Again, did we create electricity? No. Was it always there? Yes. Did we figure out a way to harness it? So, for example, water wheel. For example, you can. This is insane, actually. You can harness electricity from a potato. I don't know how this works, but apparently, missed that class of science. What else? You can literally take a bike and power up some electronics. This is energy. This is not electricity. This is energy. This is different. But I think, I'm not sure. Look at me, Nikola Tesla, the 25th century. Not knowing shit. And I just said 25th century, which kind of put the whole thing aside. But if it took the 25th century to realize I was full of shit, you're already too late. You already missed most of what I was saying. So, this morning, we realized it's been a while since I've been up since the sunrise. And it's been a while since I got up, and instead of just streaming, I went to film some videos before. Now, ultimately speaking, those videos needed to be made because, again, your boy is busy, right? Your boy keep busy. Because being busy is what I can do the best, right? Again, a promise of quality and not quality. And then you ask me, oh, don't you prefer quality? You know what? I'm giving you quality and you're asking for something else. But you still buy the product. So if it was a problem to begin with, then the problem wasn't with the supplier, was with the guy who ordered. I'm allergic to peanut, but I eat peanuts. I'm gluten intolerant, but I eat gluten, right? I may not be giving you the best of bread, but I'm giving you a bread that you eat. Which is something at the very least. You're not gonna go hungry with me, trust me. But this morning is a huge realization. This is the invention of the wheel. Because I realized that maybe, just maybe, this feeling that I've been hunting, which is the sunrise, is completely fucking fabricated. Now here's the logic behind it, and I know it's complex, but you're gonna follow, it's not gonna be okay. Let me hold your hand, I'm gonna take you somewhere you've never been. It's a crazy place called my brain, but it's warm, it's calm, it's cozy, and there's But it depends, you know. Maybe I've been chasing the sunrise for the wrong reason. Maybe the sunrise, which was originally and principality a feeling of just having fun, right? Just being in the right place at the right time. However, it could be something else. It could be simply the fact that I was chasing the feeling of the sunrise. Because I remember sunrise as being a period of time where I really worked hard. See, when you're nuts, when you're insane, which has been proven for the last 15 minutes and 7 seconds. Hard work is not necessarily quantity, right? Because quantity is easy to do. It's guaranteed. You got the sales guaranteed of hard work since day one. But what is hard work? And then the definition changes. See, quantity is a reflection of the market, right? So the quantity is a reflection of the market because if everybody makes 10 videos per day and you do 4, you're on the market. If you do 10 videos per day and the market is 4, you're over the market because you're making more than what people are doing, right? Makes sense, right? However, it's in fluctuation, right? Here's where you're wrong. It's in fluctuation versus vis-a-vis a person. You see, people like Smart, people like Good Nicole Morning, were able to have 3 videos, 4 videos a day because they had a whole team. Right? Versus you see this person, right? But this person who's releasing 4 videos on their own, right? And then you're thinking, like, yo, this person that works alone is doing a lot of work. Not really. Because they have 3 or 4 videos a day which are edited. There are 3 or 4 videos a day which are practiced. There are 3 or 4 videos a day that are scripted. There are 3 or 4 videos a day where there's research. They can do research. No, I just drink energy drink, so not a sponsor, but could be. And I put my bullshit, right? Now, where's the hard work? Where's the hard work? So you're aware of that, right? And you realize that maybe the sunrise, something I can do. I can offer you quality. I can offer you quantity, right? But the quality is just for you to come in the store. It's like, hey, the first drink's on us. Then you realize the first drink is a small cup and get it bite, the big cup. Quantity is something I can offer. However, quantity, and this is where it gets interesting, right? Because again, my apologies. This morning I feel insane. There's a lot of chaotic energy because we're awake. I'm nervous because I'm gonna finish Brooklyn Nine-Nine by tomorrow, which I'm gonna be able to do. I'm nervous because we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm also filming this, and I'm also filming the 1057, baby. That's amazing. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna increase the shockwave noise. I'm gonna upgrade its quantity. The frequency is not that bad. It is not that bad. Not that bad. Okay, so are we doing labs or not? I kind of forgot. What about you? What are you doing? What's the new one? It's okay to tell me what you think about me. I won't try to argue. I hold it against you. I know that you believe in myself. You're leaving. That's actually good. Zooming back, and it'll happen once again. I'll turn to a friend, someone who understands. If he's true to master plans, but everybody's gone, and you've been here for too long. The faces of my young, like your sister's growing, and maybe they'll see you, and maybe she'll save you. You walk by, and you walk by, you know what that guy, you know that you're leaving, we must have a reason, and it won't come back, and it'll happen once again. I'll turn to a friend, someone who understands. There you go. A little bit of a song for you guys because I know that you like my singing, right? Like I was saying before I went in on this crazy rant, but I still remember. What if the promise of quantity wasn't enough? What if I felt it wasn't enough, right? There are these things that are super simple. For example, 4 idle game that I basically don't need to touch. I would do a sunrise because I basically can film a sunrise. It's not more effort, right? It's more quantity, it's not more effort, right? And I can do this video because truth is, I wouldn't. It wouldn't make sense to do these 5 things without this thing. However, this is the cool part. This is the insane part. This is the cool part. If everything else is pointless except for this video, because then you just got a sunrise, which you've seen about 400 times on this channel, right? Minimum, which would give us 125. No, because we didn't do the first year, we didn't do sunrise. It would give you, well, the first time we did the first year, so anniversary. So it would give you 3 years and a half. 3 years and a half, about 400 is, how much is 1 year? 356. 356 times stream is about 1,050. We'll do 6 times 3, which is 18. And this is 1,068, right? So you get 1,068 sunrise on a good day. We'll say we haven't been very proficient, so we'll say that we did 1 out of 2. We do 1,068 divided by 2, which is 534. And you got 534 sunrise, right? But then you do times 2 because you got the sunrise and the sunset, right? Which is again 1,068. So they're priceless, right? So then you have the sunrise capture. And because you have the sunrise capture, you're like, holy shit. You just improve the content, right? But this, and this is a cool thing. This is a real cool thing. When I post the video, you guys see all of this behind me, right? But when I film this video, I don't see it. I don't see the nice sunrise. So to me, this is pointless. This is me and a full white, whatever, sky. I was looking for the word sky. Can you believe that shit? But then you realize that this is quantity, right? This is quantity. Because hard work is so easy to do, right? It's so easy to do. Because technically speaking, this is not true, okay? This is not true. But let's say you watch 1,068 sunrise with me, right? Let's just say that. And we've been doing 5 videos at the same time. So your 1,068 becomes, drumroll please, 1,068, 5,324. Yeah. No. It's 1,058. 1,058 is 5,300, because we're doing 6 videos right now. No, we're doing 5. So, okay, so the 5,000, yes, so the 5,068 is 5,068 is 300. The 8 is 5, so that's 4. So 5,640 videos, right? Now, a single seconds is 5,640 seconds. A single minutes is 5,640 seconds. How much is that in days? You realize it's super simple to overwork, right? So then, the quantity in itself loses all meaning because quantity is equal, right? And again, what about quality? That's the question, right? Quality is meaningless if you can achieve it. So what I'm trying to say is, for example, I do the quality videos for a year, right? And then there's a difference in the quality of content, like, fuck that guy, right? There's never quality, then you're stuck with what's, this is, swear to God, this is not planned, okay? I'm talking about the shit. I'm in a chaotic mindset, right? Where I think I'm gonna rule the world, which is maniac thinking. You're doing the quality, right? Because the quality, there's so little quality that you're looking for. You see, this made me laugh, or like a nice guy, kind of cute. So by saying that, very valorizing. Thank you so much. We got 4 cute. Okay, so what you're looking for? You're looking for extra, right? So for example, sunrise. For example, 5 pictures, right? These are things that you could be looking for if you were to look for them, which you are probably not, sadly. Are you? Are you not? I don't know. Yo no sé. I don't know. It's nuts. It's nuts. Because all of this was to say that the sunrise is something I've hunted for so long. It's an obsession. Sunrise was an obsession. Why? Because it reminded me of the time where I worked the hardest. It reminded me of the time where we made the hardest. And this is what I'm trying to say in an insane way, but here's what we're saying because people didn't follow what I'm saying. The sunrise was a meaning of working hard. Not working hard with quantity because we just saw that quantity is meaningless, right? We just established that quantity is meaningless. So sacrifices. Sacrifice on getting up when you don't want to work to get up. What is the hardest thing, guys? Going to the gym or being at the gym? What is the hardest thing? Going to work or being at work? And the same mentality here. The same mentality. Waking up. Now, here's the cool thing. What is the difference between making content at sunrise, making content later during that day? Because I could be waking up at 9 o'clock. And I'll be like, okay, well, guess what? There's nothing to do today. I don't work. So, let's make some videos. But then, it's waking up at 5. It's telling myself, come on, bro. You need to work harder. My apologies. What did I not apologize for the first one? Maybe the second one is kind of coming. And then it's hard work. And then that's sacrifices. Not hard work because you did a lot, but hard work because it took a lot out of you to work, right? And then you've been chasing the sunrise just to realize that the sunrise wasn't it. The whole thought behind this video today, which took me forever to talk about, was I just realized this morning that sunrise wasn't the important thing. It was sacrifices. We're awake. We're good. We're still here. And this is what matters. The sunrise never mattered. Then you kind of broke the magic, right? You kind of broke the magic. And there's no coming back from that. There's no coming back from that. There is no coming back. And that is the tragedy this morning. It's not how insane I sound. It's not how insane I look. The tragedy isn't that. The tragedy is no matter how hard I try, I will never, and I mean never ever, be able to recreate this. And that, my friend, fucking sucks. It doesn't suck. It doesn't suck because you've lost something. It's not because you had something and you know how it feels. I will never work as hard as I did back then. Because now, I'm working. See, the main focus behind it, the main focus behind working this hard last year was because this was my dream job, right? This was the plan A. And the idea of a plan A was stupid because, again, this is not a plan A. This is a plan B. It can become a plan A, but it shouldn't be a plan A to begin with. And I went crazy, and I had a burnout, and I worked so hard, and we lost friends, we lost people that we cared about, right? We lost so much. But it was one of those ideas that was so crazy that it had to work. You know when somebody says something that is so insane, that on at the second that he finished saying it, or she finished saying it, because a woman who runs a world, girl, you think you're fucking insane, right? And then you go back home. You think about it, and it somehow makes sense. Not a lot, but just enough for you to wonder, what if? And dreams are not based on idea. Dreams are not based on the person saying the idea. They're based on what if. We just watched Lost. Men of faith is the men of science. The men of science has an idea. The men of faith believe in the idea. Understand? I think we're all of them. think we have an ID. If you don't live in the ID, what's the point? And then it gets worse. It gets a lot worse. What if you wanted to believe in something that you didn't have anything to believe in? And then you realize that you're a slave to it. Because a man of science will want to have ID every single time. The man of faith is so willing to believe in something that they will believe anything. As long as you get to believe in something. Then you realize that both of them are wrong. Because nobody is right, then right doesn't exist. In this case, the right was the sunrise. The wrong was hard work. You understand? And that sucks. That sucks. So like I was saying, I will never work as hard as I did last year. Because last year was desperate. Last year was the fuel of insanity. This year we have a job. This year this is a plan B. Still a dream of being a plan A, but it's a plan B. And with a plan B, you're allowing you to fail. When there's a plan A, plan B doesn't need to work. Maybe I don't miss filming the sunrise. Maybe I miss getting up and believing it so hard that I didn't care. What if, and only what if, I was a man of fate. I was the Jack here. Not the John, the Jack. What if the simple reason why we got up in the morning and every single day, and no matter how hard it was because I believed in it so much. Right? The reality is that I'm just not willing to do that anymore. What changed? Sunrise. What changed? Maybe what changed is we stopped believing in it. And the thing with belief is it leaves you. You know when you trust someone and you betray your trust? And you won't trust them again. And you get there, eventually you get there. But then you trust them and you got these shields. Because you hurt me in the past, and you're not believing that you hurt me again. Then you realize that this person that you used to trust that you don't know if you should trust again is yourself. And then you realize that you can't go in life not trusting yourself, right? If there's one thing that you can trust, it's yourself. Trust nobody but yourself. At least trust somebody. Right? So you trust nobody. And because you trust nobody, you rely on yourself, right? And because you don't trust yourself, you rely on other people. People let you down. And then there's no way back home, because back home is your own sanity, is your own hurt, your own existence, your own reality, right? And it never mattered. And then you don't trust yourself because you have let yourself down before. So you learn forgiveness. Right? But then you realize that forgiving yourself means admitting that you were wrong. You realize that last year you had an addiction to being a workaholic, so you start reading the 12-step program, which is an AA book of a proven method to stop drinking. Then you realize that you learned step 2, you learned step 1, you learned step 3, you learned step 4, you learned all the steps, right? And the first one is realize that you have a problem. So you realize you have a problem and you say, I'm a workaholic, right? Then you realize that it wasn't the problem. The problem has always been the sunrise. How much am I willing to sacrifice? Workaholic. It's a problem, right? But how do you call a man that sacrifices everything? How do you call that guy? Survive everything. Is there a nickname for that? Right? No, you don't call him a man of faith. But the man of faith is never wrong. Man of science is wrong. Or believe in something that's not true. Or believe in a formula of life that's not true. So you don't want to be wrong in life, right? So you become a man of faith. So then you don't start, you stop not having a hard time with yourself, right? Because it's not working, but you're working so hard. You're like, well, maybe I'm fucking up, right? And there's this other thing that makes sense, which is, my apologies, supply and demand. Maybe my supplies aren't meeting the demand. Maybe what I'm doing is not interesting. What I'm doing is possibly too out there for people. So you stop trusting yourself, right? This was not the idea of the video at all. Let's fuck it. Sunrise. Fuck it. We're still gonna make it. We're still gonna make it, and we're gonna make it good. So what does that have to do with Sunrise and making college? Well, because you never really had an identity, right? Stefan never existed. Stefan was just a person surviving in the world, not living surviving. He lived. Vini Vidi Vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. I had a tattoo. I never really... On my body there's what? There's image from games, from mangas, which are meaningful to me because they're a good place in my memories. They're nostalgic to save me. Then there's lyrics to the song, right? But there's also two questions there. Who am I? And Vini Vidi Vici. And I never asked myself the question. And I never found the answer. It took me 4 years with Ink to realize what 28 years we couldn't fix with Steph. So Ink became me, and I became Ink. I got insurance in front of the camera. I had a person yesterday. That's another joke I'm gonna do today. And she's like, how do you get over watching yourself? She wants to be a content creator, but she's shy. So how do you, she asked a question, how do you get over watching yourself? When does this stop being weird? And this is a level of self-awareness, right? And I'm like, dude, that's at least a real problem. Making content that's interesting, making it a dog-eat-dog, making your way downtown, walking fast and so fast, making your way in oversaturated markets. It's even harder. But the question is so good. Get over watching yourself. This journey has been a discovering journey, right? Becoming Ink Vanilla has allowed me to learn more about myself than I ever did with Steph, right? So you realize that although your life isn't making content is your life. Because you discover yourself and everything makes sense. Because talking alone is crazy, but talking to a camera isn't. Making a video that nobody will ever watch somehow is less crazy than talking to yourself. Why is it so weird? Because since this video nobody will watch it, it's like talking to myself. And then because I film it and I post it, then there's a reasoning behind it. There's a purpose behind it, which is education, right? And because the purpose behind it, which is education, right, this is not insane. So your life becomes making content, right? And then in life you have hardship. In life you have hardship. And this is the interesting part of what I was about. In life you have hardships, and those hardships are heartbreaks, there are jobs that you don't like, it's meeting people that you don't like. It's getting over your own insecurities, your own limits. right? And when you're able to do that, the world is yours. The content is not being popular, not enough use, right? Which is something I haven't been self-aware enough, self-awareness, to realize. I didn't care. So then, the hardships become very little, which is waking up to the sunrise, right? Storage batteries. Storage batteries, I can blame my tools. And I can blame only myself. Then you realize just how crazy it is. That was just late. Thank you very much. And because same ass. You know that sound? I don't like it. My life has been this sound for 2 years now. And I love it. See? So when you start having struggle, what happened? Everything become meaningless. So you're looking for when your life has the most meaning, which is again, filming with sunrise. But this morning we realized that the real meaning of hard work wasn't the sunrise. It was the waking up. And the waking up, you wake up every single day. That's not a problem, right? So we're faced with another situation, which is we're 100% in, and now we're not. We didn't give up, we didn't quit. We were not invested. Now, because this is my dream job, we'll pretend like it's not a job, right? We'll pretend that I'm doing this for fun. Can we pretend together? Are you have to pretend? Because, we'll pretend that this is for fun. What's the most fun you have in life? Relationship, right? So pretend like this is an insane world where this is a relationship, right? How would you call a relationship where you didn't leave your girlfriend, but you're not fully invested in? What would you call that? Because you're not invested emotionally. You're looking for this emotion elsewhere. So you cheat, right? And when you start cheating, which we have been, in this relationship called content creation, then the relationship has no other meaning. Because you broke the sacred rule of I trust you, you trust me. Let's not hurt each other. And in this case, the person we hurt was ourselves. And then it goes back to what I was saying, forgiveness. That's the hardest part. But then answer your question. Because what if the hardest part was this self-sacrifice, right? What if the hardest part was this purpose I was looking for? What if this hardest part was the struggle we were looking for, right? Here's the thing. The struggle is a personal one. And I haven't made an effort to forgive myself. I haven't made an effort to atone for my sins. I haven't made effort to say, you know what? You fucked up. It's gonna be okay. We haven't made the effort. Here lies the problem. The problem isn't the mistake we did. The problem is the sin we committed. The problem is we didn't go to the confessional. See, very religious today. I don't know why. Possibly because of this beautiful sight. The problem is you didn't go to the confessional and you didn't ask for forgiveness. And you never asked for forgiveness. Right? Again, it's like the cheater, right? Cheat one time, feel horrible. Cheat 2 times, feel less good, but still cheat 5, 6 times, you don't care anymore. Right? How many days I should have made the effort to get up and work? I didn't do it. After tomorrow, there's no more Brooklyn Nine-Nine. My apologies. I had 2 weeks to watch the show. Did I put in 2 weeks of work? No, I didn't. Because we didn't put in 2 weeks of work. It's like I didn't care. And there's no forgiveness for that because it shows what you got. It's like saying sorry to a person you cheated on. And they're with somebody else, they're married, they have children, it's been 10 years. Oh, I'm sorry for that, I cheated. Okay, don't care. That's what we're trying to do. Anyway, forgive yourself. Okay? Live the life you want to be, not the life you think you need. Live the life you want to live. The thing that feels right. Not because you're forcing yourself to do it, but because it feels right to do it. And if what feels right to do is making an effort, then make the effort. No matter how hard it is, you got this. You fucking got this. Anyway, love you guys, take it easy. Peace. Holy, what a video.